So I just want people to know that I am not always late to these podcasts with Toby. It is right now 7:02, and he just now logged on. And he hasn't even, he's late. He's late. So he's about to catch some stuff. Here we go.
You're about to listen to a NintendoGuru.com production.
Guten Tag.
You're late.
I'm not late.
You're late.
I'm not late, Bobby.
You're 3 minutes late.
Well, that's not really late, is it, compared to you?
What do you mean it's not really late?
99% of the time, Bobby.
99% of the time, Bobby.
At least 10 minutes late, so,
not at least nothing. I was up, ready to go. I actually cut my stream off last night because I was afraid you were going to yell at me.
Oh my god.
You're such a tool bag, you know that? What is up, everybody, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 8 of the Nintendo PlayStation Podcast. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by my used-to-be best friend in all the land, Toby Thornton.
I'm not happy about that, Bobby. You need to update that.
You need to step it up. You just totally, I told you. You've disappointed me in life.
Okay.
We're having a falling out at the moment. We gotta.
Oh, okay.
You need to
all
correct.
Right.
You need to course correct really quick. Yeah, man. Yeah. We're. You need to come and course correct this whole thing.
You know what? You need to take your hat off, Bobby, because
why?
You're a older gentleman now. And you need to look respectful, not like some thug that's just coming off the street, Bobby.
What is wrong with my hat?
Look at me, right? I've got a granddad jumper on. I've got the collar turned over.
A granddad jumper. Some of us...
have some respect, Bobby.
I have respect. What the... Respect is for the dead, man. Don't give me that nonsense.
Oh, man.
What is wrong with you? Go ahead, sip your water. For a smack in the mouth. You're lucky you're
I need to keep my throat moist.
You know what? This is a show that some kids listen to, so I can't really say what was on my mind there. I let that one just.
I know what was in your mind,
because you wanted to happen. You wanted to happen. So I'm just gonna let that one slide and just go. Oh man. Well, let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our Geek Outs.
Geek out.
Oh, you are such a bum. What are you geeking out about this week, Toby?
I'm geeking out about on Halloween. Sony showed off the Medieval remake trailer, the gameplay trailer, Bobby.
Just wake me when you're done. Go ahead.
It was so awesome because it looks just so much nicer than the original. And what's cool about this gameplay trailer is they cut in some footage of the PlayStation 1 original. And you know, in your nostalgia vision, you look back and you think, oh, that game looked great. But when they switch back and forth, you're like, wow, that game looks like trash now. Mm-hmm. But the new one is just amazing. Okay. And they're sticking so faithfully to it.
So this is a port of an old game?
It's a remake. Okay. They're remaking it from the ground up.
Okay.
But they are staying faithful to the original game. A bit like Wonder Boy, you know? I know you like that game.
I just don't understand how when Sony does it, nobody says a word. When Nintendo does it, everybody gets up in arms.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about when Nintendo remakes games and puts them out and they're like, why do we get a new one? Why do we get this? And go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm raining on your parade. Go ahead.
Yeah, you are.
Go ahead. Now, you know what? Joseph Moran did a reaction video of this.
Yeah.
The game does look pretty damn good.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
You know what? It's interesting to me because basically it is a PlayStation 1 game, but in modern times. You know, they stuck to it so faithfully that I'm sure there will be some quality of life improvements here and there with the controls and stuff, but the actual core design of that game is going to be exactly the same. And I wonder, how people are going to receive it, because now, game design has changed a lot over the years, and this is just a classic game. and I wonder if people are going to love it as much as they did back then.
Okay, here's the issue. Sony has done this numerous times recently, and they don't update the controls, and it hurts them.
Well, it's interesting because Crash has sold phenomenally, and like the Crash trilogy, that is another version of this. Like it's a faithful recreation, just updated graphics, and people were saying, "Oh, the collision like is maybe slightly off or whatever," but you know, overall, it's very, very faithful to the original, and they were hard games originally.
Yeah,
and you know that game, like I say, sold phenomenally. So I don't think it's going to hurt them that much to keep it completely original.
No,
and I think Spyro is going to do great as well.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Not too excited about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that I wasn't really.
Well, I'll tell you what though,
huge into the original Sony. So like
yeah,
a game like
yeah,
this, it just falls on. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't really. You know, N64.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely for the classic fans.
No, I'm sure. Like you know, you Sony ponies are all up in arms and happy about it, but I don't know. It's although like when I heard like when they redid like the Uncharted series, that got me all excited. So because that's where I'm like into. So maybe if they just do good games,
I think the Uncharted ones are more of just a remaster rather than a complete overhaul.
Yeah.
You know, like Wind Waker, I'd say that is
between this and that.
Like
because Uncharted really wasn't that much of a.
Uncharted was just it was a slight polish up.
Slight polish, yeah. Where this one's more like they really got to fix a lot of stuff.
They just completely redid everything.
I got you.
And I think Wind Waker is actually a really good example of how to do a great sort of remaster.
Yeah, that was
because they kept it very faithful, but they changed some things that just made the experience like so much nicer.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right on that one. They definitely made some nice.
And I wish Nintendo would do that more. Actually, they should have took that extra time with Twilight Princess and just added a few extra quality of life things to that game.
Yeah, Twilight Princess kind of sucked, honestly. It just wasn't.
I don't think it sucked. I think they just could have done more.
Let's be fair.
Lazy.
Let's be fair. It was horrible. There wasn't that much of a change between when you looked at Wind Waker, it was like, oh my god, like this is a major flip. But when you looked at Twilight Princess, it was just like, and I think a lot of it had to do with the tone of the games. One was darker, so like. One was darker and serious, so when you were updating it, the changes weren't that drastic as compared to Wind Waker. When you made changes, like you really noticed all the changes and stuff that they did. Because they were both basically on the same console. Yeah, they were both made for the same console. I don't know. It's interesting. The one that would be, I think. The one to me that would basically be a drastic overchange would be if they redid Mario 64, and I think that's the tale, right? So for me, I could play Mario 64 with the chunky, blocky type graphics. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Yeah. My issue would be if they didn't fix the camera, because that camera is trash. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if they don't update the camera and you go play it, it'd be like, dude, this is bad. Like, so. I think that's part of the, the issue at hand with, when you look at a game like Medieval or, Crash, like if you don't fix it and go along with the other advancements, like you're taking one thing and you're going like, hey, the graphics are bad, so we're going to update the graphics to bring them up to this generation. Well, controls need to be advanced too. Like the whole thing has to be fixed.
Yeah, because developers have learned a lot. Over the years. So, absolutely. And I think if they can apply those changes in a nuanced way, then that's always good.
Absolutely. Myself, I am geeking out about these really cool little things I picked up. If you're looking on the video, you can see them. They're little tiny NES cartridges. Can you see them?
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
So, I have one that is Mario Kart 8. One that is Super Mario Odyssey, and one that is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Let's just see the Breath of the Wild one there. See, so there's the Breath of
Yeah.
the Wild one. But then, Toby, it does this little fantastic thing that you open it up, and there's the cartridge for the game.
Yeah.
So
That's cool, man.
it's really a game holder for the thing. I got them off Etsy.
Yeah.
Guy makes them. But the cool thing is when you buy them, you type in like what games you want, and he customizes each one based upon the game you want. And it amazes.
It's not hard though, is it, Bobby? Because all he's done is taken the box art and slapped it on the front.
No, I get that, but the thing of it is like to get it down onto a sticker that size and to make it work, and not only that, the cartridges, the cases are identical to an NES case. Like they're perfect. It's 3D printed, but I just think the guy did a fantastic job with it.
It's cool.
So what I want to do is I actually want to reach out to him and just be like, hey man, I got 15, 20 games, whatever it is, and get every single game like this. And then I want to talk to him about actually making me a little rack underneath it.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you need somewhere to store them.
Yeah, and then, like, if I had a little rack that I could put them in and then pull them out, then sit right here, it'd be amazing. I'd love it.
Yeah.
I'd be flipping shiz.
Oh, I know, Bobby, I know.
You know what? You are such a tool. It's time for the news, Tobes. So,
We need a news jingle. Someone make us a news jingle that Bobby can just slide on in. I know it's extra work for you, Bobby, but it's like
I know that's all you care about. You show up once every 2 weeks, and
let's
then
give Bobby something extra to do.
Yeah, let's just
Because he's not doing enough.
I'm not doing enough as it is. You're not even watching the content I'm doing because I do too much, and then you want to add more work to my load. I see how you are. At this point, Toby will bring 3 Sony news articles to the table. I will pick the Sony story that I would like to hear. I will bring 3 Nintendo stories, and he'll pick the one that he wants to hear. So, what do you have this week, Toby?
Right, so I've got Ukulele's Retro 64-bit mode coming soon on PS4. We've got Red Dead Redemption 2 leak leads to £1 million settlement. And Undertale creator opens up about Deltarune, which is a long way off.
Wait a minute. Wait. I want to hear about the Red Dead one.
Yeah, I knew you'd pick that one.
What the hell? I got to hear this. This is nuts.
All right, this is an interesting story. It says, this is from pushsquare.com, again, one of my favourite websites for PlayStation News. It says, remind us to never, ever get on the wrong side of Rockstar and parent company Take-Two. UK-based website Trusted Reviews has pulled an article from earlier in the year that included unannounced Red Dead 2 details, and it stumped up an eye-watering £1 million or $1.3 million in order to settle. That money, as per Take-Two's directive, will go to charity. So basically what happened is somebody got some confidential corporate document and forwarded it on to Trusted Reviews, and they knew that it was confidential, like a company document, but they published details from it regardless. And Take-Two were like, nope, like
I like
that.
it.
That's a no.
Yeah, I like that.
So
that.
So basically, they sued them, and they're going to get them to donate the money to charity, which is actually a really cool
it's good. It's
thing
like
for Take-Two.
It's like, we don't want the money. You screwed us, but we don't want the money. We're gonna put this something good. I like that.
Yeah.
It's funny too because I've seen some videos and some articles how people are just bashing Rockstar and over the whole how they treat their employees, and that's stupid nonsense. And it's really just a story that's blown out of proportion, honestly, in my opinion. Because when you listen to the directors and all them, they're like, no, not everybody was working 100 hours. It was a couple of guys that were putting in the time, the managers, more or less. So I don't know. It's just a nonsensical thing. But then
it's interesting because this is like a good publicity thing for them to do. So like you said, they could have kept the money, not as if they're not like rolling in mountains of cash anyway. But
I know. They're set. They're good to go. Like, dude, what did they? they made so much money on Red Dead 2 already. Like, they've sold so many copies already. It's insane. These guys are amazing. All right, so first story is Microsoft's Nintendo Switch-like controller could transform Xbox Scarlet. Sega Genesis Classics coming to the Nintendo 64. And
64?
I mean, the Nintendo Switch. Oh my god. Oh my god. Good Lord. What a mess. And then, how many copies have been downloaded? How many copies of Fortnite have been downloaded to the Nintendo Switch?
I'm most interested in that first one. That's a juicy thing that I've not heard about.
This is a little bit long. This article comes from Enverse. So basically what they're saying is Microsoft has been exploring the controller designs, and it could signal a path to the future of Xbox consoles. A Microsoft research paper published this month entitled A Versatile Controller Concept for Mobile Gaming describes a speculative research exploration motivated by the desire to enable traditional gaming experiences on mobile devices by incorporating tactile input controls. So basically what they're doing is, and it's a really super long article, it goes into detail, but it has images as well, where Microsoft has basically come up with this way to attach controllers to the side of cell phones and tablets, and it gives you basically the Microsoft controller. It gives you you could do one of two things. You can have a 2-piece component or a 5-piece component. One is you put one on the back and it charges the controllers. The other one is like it's a little hand grips, and then the other one has actual Pro Controller grips that come down. But basically what they're saying is if this is to actually work, could Microsoft then, because they have the Surface and the Surface Pro and all these different tablets, could this then lead to Microsoft going, okay, we're going to offer this bundle type thing, give you this experience where now Xbox is making these tablets that are gaming tablets, and I think it's interesting because the one thing that Microsoft has never done is dipped into the foray of mobile with they've never done like a handheld console. So something like this, I wonder, because Microsoft is not afraid to throw money at stuff. In terms of like, hey, we're gonna spend a lot of research on this, and we're gonna put this device out, and people are gonna buy it for a high price. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
so it was like the they developed the augmented reality thing that they were showing off a few years back with Minecraft, and that never turned into anything.
No, HoloLens
could have.
No, I liked HoloLens a lot. I liked HoloLens so much more than virtual reality. I thought HoloLens was really amazing when they actually showed like the Minecraft world pop up and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I think what this thing sort of signals to me is, that they were talking at E3 that they're working on Scarlet next Xbox. Yeah. But they were saying multiple versions of it, and people have speculated that there's going to be one like hardcore OG console version, and then there'll be a cheaper streaming version. But maybe instead of having an actual streaming console, this is their streaming thing.
It could be.
Where they've got a service that you can just have on a phone, and it's all cloud-based. They've been banging on about the cloud for ages. Yeah. So in one way, they're putting one foot into the future of console gaming with streaming, and that's an option for people who have got great internet. And you can just play it anywhere, so that in a way that sort of combats the Switch thing as well, doesn't it? Being able to play on the go. So it's quite cool that they can do that with phones and tablets and all sorts. And like you say, they've got their own brands of tablets and laptops and stuff. So
it's pretty interesting
with Surface. Yeah.
I think it's very, very interesting, honestly. Especially them really just being a tech giant and game second,
I think it also signifies a bit of a change to their attitude towards gaming anyway, because when the Xbox One was announced, we all know it's a fiasco. You had to have Kinect with it.
Yeah.
Like, they were forcing you to do one thing. They were trying to mold the future of gaming in a specific way, like in their own vision. But now, this seems to me like they're having a much broader approach to how people want to play.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually something that's been really cool about Microsoft over these last 4 or 5 years. They have been for the gamers in a way that Sony hasn't necessarily been.
I agree.
And I feel like they are like so consumer friendly at the moment in all these different options that they're giving people. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. All right, so we'll jump into your topic first, right? And then we'll go to my topic.
Okay, we can do my topic.
Okay. Yeah.
So Sony announced the full games lineup for the PlayStation 1 Classic. Then there's been quite a bit of controversy about it. A lot of people saying, why isn't this on it? I can't believe they put that on it. Because there are a lot of obscure games, not so popular games on there, and some odd choices. But I thought, rather than talk about what they have put on there, because everyone's talking about what they really want on there, let's take a look in our crystal ball, Bobby. And we're going to look into the future. We're going to look 20 years into the future when the PlayStation 4 Classic comes along.
Oh, my God.
And so what I've done is I've made a list of games using the original, like the actual PlayStation 1 Classic list. And I've tried to create a one-to-one transition of what games are on the PlayStation 4 now.
Okay.
So I'm going to run you through this list.
Okay.
This is like what could be on a PS4 Classic in 20 years.
Okay.
All right, so the first game, Battle Arena Toshinden, right? Toshinden, I don't know how you say it. So that I'd never heard of that, but apparently it's like a sword. It's like a Soul Calibur game, Bobby. It's like a weapons-based fighting game. So I thought, Soul Calibur 6 has just come out. So that's a good one that they could put on the PlayStation 4 Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Next game, Cool Borders 2, snowboarding game. What's a good snowboarding game on PlayStation 4? It's Steep. How about that, Bobby?
No.
Does that wet your whistle?
Not at all. Not
Okay,
at all.
All right. Destruction Derby on the PlayStation 1 Classic. Now, this was a little interesting because that's a genre of games that has kind of flourished a little bit on PC, but not so much on consoles. Kind of died out.
Yeah.
But I was searching for it, for a game similar to it on the PS4, and there's a game called Wreckfest that's coming this month. That is a Destruction Derby style game with lots of car damage, races where you can crash into people and an actual like Destruction Derby ring and everything. So that's on the PS4 Classic Bobby.
I want to do something. I want to translate for the American people. He's saying Derby, not Derby.
Oh.
So it's Destruction Derby. Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right.
You gotta learn to
Final
speak.
Fantasy
You need to learn to speak proper English over there.
I think it's vice versa, Bobby.
No,
we invented the language, so it's only fair. All right, Final Fantasy VII on the PS1 Classic.
Final Fantasy remake. Final Fantasy VII remake.
No. Well, I suppose I could, but I don't think that's going to come to the PS4.
That's true too.
PS5.
That's true too. Yeah.
But what we have got is Final Fantasy 15. So I actually think that 7's probably still the better game.
Yeah. 15 wasn't that good.
Yeah. All right, so Grand Theft Auto on the PS1 Classic. Well, we got GTA 5, Bobby. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, on your PlayStation 4 Classic.
Is it GTA? Yeah, it is GTA 5. I was thinking GTA 4. No, you're right. It is 5.
No, 5 yet. Okay,
yeah.
So now this next one.
Are you gonna give me a chance to say anything about these things?
Sorry,
or are you just gonna run through a list?
I want to get through it quickly.
Well, how about we just don't do? Why don't you just pick your top 5? I don't want to hear all 20 garbage games.
We're going through all of them.
No, because there's a lot of garbage on that PS1 Classic.
There is, but
I want the best. I don't want to go through the entire list. It's too many games. I'm going to
publish this list.
You can publish the list on some random website you have out there, some .com that knowing you it's .org or .net because you can't do anything legit. Okay, so I think, first off, it's admirable what you're trying to do here, okay? I give you credit. You put some work into it. But if you're not going to let me talk about these things, it's kind of pointless just for you to ramble a list, okay?
Yeah, but I thought we were going to talk about it afterwards, but all right. Carry on, Bob.
Okay. Continue your list then. You're taking too long to get through the list. People are they got time. Let's get through it. Come on.
I'll say the old game and then the new.
Yes,
game,
there you
I'll
go.
Just run through all of it.
How about now you're thinking.
Okay, right. So Intelligent Cube.
Okay.
Catherine Remaster. All right, that's a dodgy one. We'll talk about that in a minute. Jumping Flash. There's no substitute. I pick Knack. Okay. Metal Gear Solid. And Metal Gear Solid 5. Mm-hmm. Mr. Driller. Mm-hmm. SteamWorld Dig 2, Bobby.
Okay.
Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. Oddworld New and Tasty. The remaster. Or remake. Rayman to Rayman Origins. Mm-hmm. Resident Evil Director's Cut. Resident Evil Remake. Revelations Persona. Persona 5. Ridge Racer Type 4. Drive Club. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Puzzle Fighter HD. Siphon Filter, The Division. Tekken 3, Tekken 7. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Rainbow Six Siege. Twisted Metal, Crossout, and Wild Arms Dragon Quest 11. So there's the list, Bobby.
So the one thing I could say right from the get is there's something that people do a lot of the times where they take a shot at Nintendo for not changing their games. And they always say how Sony is very diverse and does all these different things. But that list just tells me that's not true. Like,
well, yeah, now that's what I found really interesting when I was making the list, yeah.
And once you put 20 years of time in, then you realize, like, no, these companies all do the same thing over and over and over again. They do. Something's a success, and they just keep on going with it. It's crazy to think that some of those games you listed are 20 years old, and they're still doing them today. You know, and some of them that you listed, I'm just thinking to myself, like, they weren't that great back then. Like, why are they still even in the realm of stuff? I think it's interesting. I mean, obviously, to me, to be honest with you, a PlayStation 4 classic 20 years from now would be drastically different than that list you just read.
Yeah, it would.
There would be games on there like God of War and Spider-Man and stuff. That Spider-Man maybe not, because they might not have the license 20 years from now. You assume they would because it's a Sony license, like Sony has the license. But you never know. You never know. Especially with Disney in charge of Marvel now, they might really come after it later on and try to get it back. But that said, so you look at it and you go like, you know, I would think that even like Uncharted would be on there on that list, that, you know, on a PS4 classic. So,
I made another list with like 90% first party games or like exclusives, so like some second party. But
I don't care about that list.
It's so much better than the list I've just made.
Because the thing of it is that's the one thing I will say about Sony is, to me, the PS1 Classic is garbage. I am not into it. There's only one or two games on that list that really excited me. You know, like Metal Gear and Final Fantasy. That's it. There's so many, to me, so many classic games missing off that PS1 list.
I think you're right. I think that not all of those games you could class as classic. It kind of goes against, like, some of them are just obscure. And, you know, I do applaud them a little bit for doing that. Like some of the ones that are really expensive to get a hold of now, like a physical copy. And it kind of is quite diverse, but there's no, I don't know, there's a lot that you would have expected to be on there that just isn't.
That's the one thing. I mean, but you can say the same thing about Nintendo's, because when you look at the N60, or not the N64, when you look at the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, when you look at those two, you just turn around and you go like, there's some games here that are missing that I would have loved to have.
Yeah, but I think the SNES Classic does a way better job, because most of the games on there are actually decent classic games that you would expect.
See, I'm curious what an N64 Classic looks like compared to the PS4 or PS1 Classic. I think to me, I'm more interested if Sony brings out a PS2 classic.
Yeah.
Because that's where they really got good. You know what I mean? Like, the PS1 is okay. I think it gets a lot more love than it deserves. And I think people just look through rose-tinted glasses when they talk. They look at the PS1. The PS2 was when it really ramped up and got good. And there were so many great games that came to that thing. But I'm interested to see overall. But when you talk about a PS4 classic, 20 years from now, I think that, honestly, I think the list you read is probably the list we would get, not the list we want. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it...
We'd be disappointed.
Yeah, because you think about what they did here, and it's like, well, maybe Sony would do the same thing. You know what I mean? And that's also to say, like, is there a PS4 classic? But,
I mean, that's kind of the reason that I made the list in the first place, because I was a bit bemused by the PS1 classic list. And, you know, it was interesting when I was making the list that there are certain games on there that just are so unique that there isn't any direct copy or like similar game to it. You know, like Intelligent Cube, just weird puzzle game where you're sort of running away from these cubes that are going to crush you as they're coming towards you, and you're trying to get rid of them in a certain way. I picked Catherine because you climb cubes in that game, but they're not really similar at all. Jumping Flash, you're this like mech, you're like a first-person robot thing that just jumps and like collects things. There isn't any games like that at the moment.
The
Siphon Filter, like The Division, they're kind of similar in third-person shooter perspectives, but they're very different.
Right,
really.
Let's not go through the list again. You're trying to bring the list up again. You're trying to analyze the list again, and this is what I stopped you from doing in the beginning.
There's a lot of games on there.
There's a lot of trash on there.
Genres are dead.
Well, that's good. There's a reason for it being dead. It should be dead. It deserves to be dead. It was garbage back then.
It says more about the AAA games industry.
Here's what I think people are more interested in, Sony boy. Did you buy a PS1 classic? And are you going to...
I have pre-ordered it. I'm considering cancelling my pre-order, but I don't know. I'll see. I'll leave it till the day before.
The day before. I did not pre-order it. I felt like they came up very short with this thing. I felt like there was some stuff missing on there that definitely needed to be on there. Gran Turismo 2 is definitely one that I don't know why it's not on there. There was a few things. I just was like, Like, I understand, I guess, why they didn't put Crash on there, but it's real befuddling to me. Like, why wouldn't you put it on there?
I think the biggest confusion to me is Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Because, like, Tomb Raider was the PlayStation 1 mascot other than Crash.
Yeah.
Like, Crash and Lara Croft, like, they were the names of PlayStation.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Like, who made this list? Like, was it somebody that actually worked at PlayStation? Or
I think it's more to do with companies wanting too much money. Like,
well, that is
the
problem.
companies that own the games and the IP now.
And that is the problem. At that time, during the PS1, Sony really didn't have a first-party studio. You know what I mean? Like, there was a couple of companies that were dedicated to Sony, but there was no
that
Sony,
wasn't as strong as it is now.
Yeah. You didn't have, like, Naughty Dog was there, but Naughty Dog wasn't really working for Sony at the time. You know, it wasn't like it was just a studio that Sony then acquired later on. So it's different. It's a different ballgame. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm more interested to see how a PlayStation. Not only that, like, no sports games. Like, you don't try to go get Madden.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that. I mean, I suppose Call Borders is the closest you'll get, but even that is.
But like no Madden, no hockey games or a soccer game or anything.
The thing is, I think that sports games were pretty terrible on the PS1 anyway. You know, so.
I think a lot of games were pretty terrible on the PS1, but at the end of the day, I mean, don't get me wrong, they did a lot of good. There was a lot of bad as well, and when you think about it,
I think they could have got Silent Hill on there. You know, anything
better than what they gave us. They didn't look at the needle.
Alundra.
When they announced the first, see, this is the other issue with them. They're remaking all these games right now. That why would you buy something? And I feel the same way not so much the same way with an N64 Classic, but like, why would I buy the N64 Classic and play Ocarina and Majora's Mask when I have them on the 3DS and they're far superior versions? You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
Why would you go back and play a thing that looks like garbage? It's like looking at a TV, squinting your eyes, like barely open your eyes, going, "Okay, I'm playing the game like this," and then all of a sudden you get the better version. You open your eyes completely and play it. Like, it's night and day.
You'd buy it for Bomberman 64 that would inevitably be on there.
The N64 Classic.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll buy. I'm really. I know me. I'll buy the N64 Classic. But,
of course you will.
But I won't buy it to play the games because the games aren't really interesting me at all. If I'm being honest, they just do nothing for me. Hot trash.
What were you doing at the time?
Of what?
When the N64 and PS1 were out, what were you doing? Were you even playing games?
Yeah. Big time. The N64 was the first console I ever bought my own money. Like, home console with my own money.
But you don't hold nostalgia for those games?
I do, but not like I do for the NES and the SNES. Because the other thing, too, is, like, I was playing, but I wasn't playing as much. Meaning, at that point in my life, I was actually working full-time. I was out of school. I had a full-time job. So it was kind of one of those things, like, I was buying games, but, like, my friends weren't always able to play all the time. My brother had just had a baby a couple years prior, and so, like, he's often married, and, like, everybody's starting, that's at the life where everybody's starting to disappear, like, go their own separate ways. And and we were all, like, at that point, we were, like, going to bars at night and stuff, so, like, yeah, I played games, but my nostalgia is with the NES and the SNES because that's when all my friends and we would all hang out and play. You know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of the nostalgia comes from, is the times of playing, not necessarily the games themselves. It's the era of when you're playing and when all your friends are playing. So mine had just come 2 generations prior to that. For me personally, like, I have some great moments with the N64 and the PlayStation 1. I mean, dude, Final Fantasy VII. I bought the PlayStation 1 for Final Fantasy VII. I specifically went to the mall, bought it, and bought that, and went home with just those 2 things because I needed to have them. So, you know, it is what it is. Metal Gear was a phenomenal game too. I still like that whole I would love to see how they handle that.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Like, I might keep my pre-order because I would consider like modding the console to put emulated games on there, so because if you could just expand the library, I mean, you can see I've got a huge library behind me of PS1 games, so
I don't like the fact that you like hid all your Nintendo stuff just above the camera. I can just barely see some stuff just there. Although you do have the Zelda thing front and center. I like that.
I should just get rid of that. Here we go. That's better.
Man, it's like I don't even know you anymore. What the hell?
Did it to annoy you.
How dare you you do something like that to Zelda? Something's not right with you.
I did it to wind you up.
Oh, I guess it's your wind up. Okay, so my topic is obviously, or whatever, is Smash.
Can you say that again with more enthusiasm, Bobby?
Toby, my topic is I want to go over the Smash Direct and go through it and talk about it because I know that you want to talk about it and that you're excited about it. Are you excited about Smash?
The tiniest smidge.
Really?
I'm not really excited. No.
I thought you were. I thought you liked Smash.
No.
Interesting.
I don't know, man. Just because it's a fighting game. Fighting games don't do a lot for me unless it's Street Fighter 2 Turbo or Street Fighter Alpha 3. I'm just not the hugest fighting game fan.
Well, that's interesting. Sorry, I just got a text message and I'm just like, wow.
Oh, okay, juicy.
It is. Oh my god. Okay, so we'll just break it down a little bit, and we'll go over some of the highlights. What are some things that stood out to you? That got you.
I picked out six things, Bobby, that I liked.
I just want to hear one. Go ahead. Just get it.
Number one, Ken.
Yeah. Yes,
Ken.
That was cool.
I love Ken. Ken is always my go-to Street Fighter character of the original cast. Anyway. So now that he's in it, and I don't know, there's something I like about Ken.
Yeah, I like. I you know what? Maybe it was just the red jumper, the red gi.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I too always liked Ken over Ryu. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we're racist, Bobby.
I think that's really what it is. I think that's what it boils down to.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead. What's your next thing on there?
The Piranha Plant character.
I like that, dude. You know what? It's one of those moments where you're just like, what are they doing? And then all of a sudden you go like, this is so Nintendo. This is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I first saw it, because I actually caught the direct in like the last half of it, and when it came out, I was like, what? Like, what? Like, what about other characters that people want? But when you actually see it and the way it moves and everything, like, it is such a unique, so Nintendo thing to do.
Yeah. And
it looks like a really interesting character. You know,
that is
like you wouldn't expect it to be. But...
No, exactly. And it's just like you watch it, and it was just you watch it come together, and it's just like, what is happening right here? And the thing too that threw me off a little bit was Sakurai is just, he starts off and he's talking about how like, here's the final character. And then, like, you see Ken, and then here comes Incineroar, and it's like, okay, you said the final, now you just showed me two. Then at the end of the direct, he shows another one, and then they're just oh, and we got 5 more coming throughout the end. It's like, what? Like, what are you talking about here?
I know.
You just said the final characters at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, and it just amazes me. Like, when we talked about this last time, I was just saying that I can't believe how much effort has gone into this game and how much they're putting in it. Like, I struggle to think of another game that's got this much stuff in it.
I know.
It's just insane.
It is. It really is.
It is the ultimate Smash game. It really is.
You're such a tool. What's your next thing? What's your next thing?
My next one is some of the new Amiibo I really like.
I pre-ordered them all. I have them all on pre-order.
I wish I could pre-order them, Bobby, but I've given up on that years ago because you just can't. You can't do it.
Listen, first off, you don't have the dedication you used to. I understand that.
No, I don't.
And, you also have a baby, and I understand that. But, like, me, I ordered them all because I ain't play no game.
Yeah,
bro.
I know.
I ain't like you. Yeah. I ain't a quitter like you. I double down. I got these two here.
Isn't that annoying though, Bobby?
I got these. What are you talking about? I have them all, man.
I'm just saying, like, isn't it terrible that Nintendo have lost one of their hardcore Amiibo fans because they just don't put enough out? And I've just lost interest because of that. Like, that is a shame because I'm sure I'm not the only one.
No, you're right. You're right. And it's weird because the hunt is what got us into it. Like, I remember, dude. Like, that's what started a conversation, relationship with you and I, was the whole, you selling me that garbage, Link amiibo that's broken. But
I'm never gonna hear the end of that.
You won't. You're not. I gotta pull that out. It's probably completely broken now. But the thing is that it's weird how that whole tide turned. Like, that was what drove like you and I together, and now here we are talking about how you're just not into it anymore, and it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm curious about Alan.
Oh yeah, because
he
had them all boxed.
He had them all boxed, and he had them on the wall. And the crazy thing is too is like, for somebody like Alan, I wonder, because he was like excited, like, it's complete. I got them all.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo's
it's not complete anymore.
Then they're like, oh, wait a minute, here you go. Here's a bunch. And it's like, oh, you son of a. So which ones had you excited?
There's 3 that I really like the look of.
Okay.
There's K. Rool,
Yes.
I think that he looks so cool, so detailed and big.
Yeah.
Ken, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and young Link.
Yes.
Not that we need any more Links,
I know,
but
we got a
this
bunch of
one
Links.
actually looks designed to be an amiibo. Like the action pose with the shield.
Yeah.
Like, I see that is going to be the most popular one.
Yep.
Especially with customizers. Like I can just see people doing really cool stuff with that.
Yeah. I'm going to say
So I'm going to try and get that one.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
That your Wolf Link, not Wolf Link, your Wolf amiibo that you did is far superior than the one that Nintendo put out. The one that you modified and customized looks phenomenal.
I think my one is so nice because it was almost just black and white, the colors to it, and like he looks mean. He looks meaner than the actual one. Yeah.
No, I loved yours. Yours was knocked out of the park all day long. This one, when I saw it, I immediately compared the two, and I was just like, it's okay. Like theirs is more detailed, obviously, because they're building theirs from the ground up, and it's based on the uniform. You custom. You took a Star Fox, and you took a Fox McCloud and converted it. But it's interesting. Go ahead. What's the next one?
The next one is Smash Tag. Almost having dog tags.
Yeah.
So when you're fighting people online and you beat them, you get their username put into a list of people that you've defeated.
That's pretty cool.
Like, that is such a cool feature. Like,
it's going to be awesome for me to look on mine and have nobody on it. It's going to be amazing.
Everyone's going to have Nintendo Guru. Like,
exactly.
Top of the list.
Exactly. But
I just think that's such a unique, cool thing. I don't know of any other games that do that, where you collect your victims' names. Exactly. Like, that is so cool. I love it.
It is good. It is good. What's the next thing?
Saving replays and using the Smash app to share videos.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah. So this is, to me, this says that Sakurai is not happy with the video feature that's built into the Switch. Because you can save short clips that aren't great quality. You can do screenshots, but he wants people to be able to show off their matches online and show them off around the world. And I think that the app that they've built for that is all about the community of like sharing what you're doing. And yeah, I just think that's really cool that he's sort of gone outside the realm of the Switch itself, like what that's capable of, and he's like, this is how I want to do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's pretty awesome. What's the final thing?
The final thing is Elite Smash battles, VIP battles for the best of the best.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
So this is like, we all know how competitive Smash is and how people like get so good at it. It's like esports, and just having these matches that you can only get in if you're good enough. Like it made me think of the Elite Four in Pokemon. Like I know that that's a language we can talk, Bobby, because you love Pokemon.
I don't know what the Elite Four is. But
Bobby!
Just so you can teach me. The thing is like I'm learning, and that's a new term.
All right,
but we can get onto that.
All right, I don't know actually, because I fell out of Pokemon. So
okay.
I know that in the original games, Red, Blue, and Yellow, they had the Elite Four, which was basically at the end of the game, the final boss. You went through almost like a tournament of trainers that were just the best of the best, and so that's what it is, really. Like this elite match thing is you have to be the best.
Gotcha. Okay. I got you. I understand.
Yeah. So is there anything that I didn't mention? That
I'm surprised you didn't talk about Adventure Mode. Because to me,
we don't know enough about it.
Stop.
It's too secretive.
Stop. We know a lot about it, but the thing is,
tell me what we know.
We know that like this amazing cutscene happened with the most amazing characters in all of video game, all there.
Right.
Like these master hands coming out of the sky, like that trailer, that cutscene, that moment to me was the defining point of the whole thing. Like I saw that and I was just like, oh my god, dude, because I loved Subspace in Brawl. I love that game. So for me, the fact that we're doing this again and it's a little bit different than Subspace was, but it just looks fantastic. I love.
Well, that's the thing. Like they said, it's not going to be the same as Subspace, though. So,
no,
like,
it won't
what
be.
Is it actually going to be?
It won't be completely like Subspace, no. But it's going to have cutscenes. They're going to have these beautiful cinematics.
Yeah.
Like that's what I loved about Subspace was the cutscenes and the cinematics and all that. Like that story was fantastic. How they took all these characters that are out of place and they merged them together to fight Master Hand. And this is a similar thing where they're taking all these now they have even more characters, right? Taking all the characters in all of video gaming, the best of the best, Cloud, Solid Snake,
Sonic,
Bayonetta, he's scumbag. We know that's garbage. But like Link and all these characters that are like what we grew up loving, and they're all now formed together, and it's like, here we go. This is gonna be an epic battle to the end. I love it, man. I think it is amazing, and I am really, that's the part that has me excited, especially since they pulled trophies away. That's disappointing because I love the trophy system. I used to love that part of Smash. So now that that's kind of gone, it doesn't really give me a reason to go play all the different modes and stuff, and that's fine, whatever. But the adventure mode is what's making me keep my pre-order and be excited for it. So
please be excited.
Oh, I am excited. Did you you didn't pre-order the game, I'm assuming?
No. Just because, the thing is, Bobby, I bought the Wii U version, played it a bit, but because none of my friends had it and they weren't really into it, and the time zone difference, I couldn't really play with you guys that much. So I don't know. I just, as a single player game, I don't like playing online with strangers. So there wasn't really a single player element to it, was there? So maybe the adventure mode might draw me in. If you would just spend a little time in the Discord, the people there love you. If you would just spend some time in the Discord, get to know a few of them, and then you could be in the middle of the day, like, hey guys, I want to play whatever. You would have 5-6 people be like, okay, Toby, let's play. And also, it doesn't help that I'm trash at the game.
Well, how do you get better? You get better by playing against people.
Yeah. You
gotta broaden your horizons. Stop being a closet little, goober. All right, let's wrap up real quick with what have you been playing? Anything new?
Yeah, I've been playing a few different things.
Okay, so let's talk about that before we got a few minutes. Let's talk about it before we wrap up.
So I'm playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3, not the new one. So basically, it was a free PS Plus game. I stupidly didn't download it because I thought COD's trash. But then my friends start playing a specific mode in it called Prop Hunt, where you basically, it's like team based, and one team is a random prop, and they got to hide in the level, and the other team have got to hunt them down and kill them.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of fun with it, so they said, you got to buy it, so I had to buy it, and then we played it together, and that was actually really fun. So I've been doing that. Also, we checked out Friday the 13th, which was a PS Plus game again, and that was real interesting. I don't know if we're just playing it wrong, but Jason is so overpowered in that. The counselors just run around. You're basically defenseless. You can get a few weapons, but once he's on you, you can't escape because he moves so much quicker than you do. So, but it is really fun. When you're talking to people and you're trying to solve where's the car battery and where's the keys and where's the fuel and everything. So, but when he comes after you and the screen starts going like an old VHS tape and you're like, oh no, I'm done for. And it is really funny when he does catch you and you end up hobbling away and the screen goes all dark and you can't run because your character's just quaking with fear. You basically just turn into a puddle and die. So, yeah, and it is fun when you are Jason because you can just terrorize people.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds pretty awesome.
And of course, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2, of course.
How are you liking that so far?
I'm loving it.
You're
Like
loving it.
it is because it's a little bit controversial in the a lot of people are saying it's too realistic and that's taking some of the fun away from the gameplay. But I find it kind of like they are trying to make you feel like you are in the West as a cowboy. Like they're trying to immerse you in that world as much as possible. The amount of effort that's gone into all the tiniest little details in that game.
Yeah.
It's like it is designed for a hardcore experience where you are in that world.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to embrace it like that. I know that I'm probably never going to beat it. And there's so much I don't know about the game that I'm just learning as I go. But I'm just trying to exist like I'm really there. So I'm drinking coffee at the fire. Just because you make a coffee and you press R2 to like take sips of it.
Oh my god.
Just stuff like that. That's just like any other game wouldn't have that.
Yeah.
But Red Dead's got it. So I'm just trying to enjoy it and soak it in, you know?
Yeah. So I started playing this little game here, Starlink.
Oh, you got it.
I bought it, yeah.
Congrats,
I bought it.
Bobby.
There's
Congrats.
the R-Wing back there on the shelf, if you can see it.
Lovely.
I love that game, dude. Really good game.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I've been streaming it. I really love it, man. I think it's just so awesome. And when there's this little moment where you're powering up your ship, and you have like a special moment. You can like hit a trigger and it activates your weapons. And dude, it's the Star Fox music kicks in, and all of a sudden, all like Peppy and all them, they all start flying in and attacking what you want to attack, and it's like
awesome.
It is so awesome, dude. It's
so just, I guess that's how you're playing it. You're playing it as a Star Fox game.
I'm treating it like a Star Fox game because I have I have the R-Wing and that's my controller. Yeah. But it's kind of the one thing I want to say like this is like you have the Toys to Life aspect of it, which to me is really really cool. Like you take the cannon and you put the cannon on the wing, and like that's the cannon you know like So like when you buy the R-Wing Star Fox version, it comes with like a frozen cannon and like a flamethrower. Which funny story. I put the flamethrower on backwards, right? And I didn't realize this is the attention to detail. I put it on, but it's facing back, like it's facing towards me as I'm playing.
So it actually faces like that in game.
In game, so it's shooting the flame backwards, and I'm like,
dude, that's awesome.
No, it's not because I'm playing. I'm like, I'm like, this flamethrower is trash, man. Why is this not working? And I guess I picked the controller up just enough on screen, and someone in chat's like, dude, you hit the flamethrower on backwards. And I'm like,
that's so funny.
I'm like, do I? And I pop it off and I turn it around. All of a sudden the flames are flying out the front. I'm like, the hell out of here. Like it knows that the thing's going backward. It is so cool, man. It's really cool. Also, Diablo 3. Started playing that last night and I was streaming it. So good. This game is so good, man. I played last night with Rybo, Josue Ponce of Nim Mobile News, and Joseph Moran. The four of us were playing. It is so amazing, man. Really is.
Have you come across any of the Nintendo crossover stuff in it yet?
I have a Cuckoo that runs around with me and like picks up all the like any loot that drops, like coins.
Dude, that's brilliant.
He like just flies over and picks it up. I didn't you scan the Ganon amiibo in, and then it unlocks the ability to find that loot in the game. I haven't scanned in Ganon yet. I will though, because I love Ganon. Ganon is the best. So that's what I'm playing at this moment, and I'm really. I don't know if you know this, Toby. I started streaming every day now.
Where?
On Twitch, Twitch.com.
Streaming YouTube.
No, man, no. YouTube is really bad for streaming.
Is it? Is it?
Mm-hmm. I've been having issues. I've been having issues seriously, really bad with it. It's not. Twitch is the place to be if you're going to stream. Seriously, it's go check it out. I have everything archived there. Twitch.tv, _Nintendo_Guru is the name. But go check it out. Seriously, it's good. I'm going to actually do highlight clips and put them over on YouTube But
Yeah,
I've been enjoying
that'd
it.
be cool. I'd definitely watch those. And you know what? Like, I am interested in Starlink. If people say that it is a better Star Fox game than Star Fox Zero,
This is what
then I'm definitely
This is the
interested.
way I liken it so far. Star Fox and No Man's Sky. That's the way I feel.
Yeah.
If they
I
would
think
have,
it looks better.
oh,
than
it
No
looks
Man's Sky.
no. I mean, like in terms of like you could travel out to certain planets. You pick
Yeah.
a planet to go to, and you go, and then it's a mission on that planet. That's what I mean by
Yeah.
that. It is so good, man. Really, I love it. I love it so much. So and that's
You know what? I read somewhere that 80% of the sales of that game are on Switch. And
Yes.
it's like, well, no, duh.
yeah.
Like,
It's,
I can't believe that they didn't just make it a Switch exclusive and just turned it into a Star Fox game.
I think when Starlink 2 comes, that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
I really do. I really feel that's what it'll be. So that is all. Thank you guys for listening, watching, however you consume this episode of the Nintendo PlayStation Podcast. Please be sure to follow Mr. Toby Thornton over at Toby's_take on Twitter, myself at Nintendo Gurus. Also, please check out NintendoGuru.com. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Peace out, Cub Scout.
How do you say it like that?
Cub Scout.
All right.
Do you know what episode it is, Bobby?
Who knows, man? Like 7?
8. It's 8,
Eight.
Bobby.
Is it really? Oh, man. I got too many shows I do, Toby. I can't keep track.
I know.
I can't keep track. I cheat on
It's
you.
all right. I'll forgive you.
I cheat on you all the time. Last night, I know you don't watch my stuff anymore, but
No, it's not. I don't watch your stuff anymore. It's that you do so much of it now.
Yeah.
I can't keep up.
Well, you should pick one thing and just follow it. You just don't watch anything anymore.
No, I watch your YouTube videos. I might not watch them every single day like your Nintendo Guru dailies, but
Okay.
I watch a lot of them.
What about Nintendo Talk Live?
No, and I'll never watch
You
that.
should watch those. Roger's on this week.
All right, I'll watch the Roger one.
Roger one's really good.
The problem is I don't know who these people are that you have on.
So
most of the
isn't that
time.
how you learn how people are? You watch the episode and you go, "Hey, I like this person. I'm going to check out more of their content."
Yeah,
You know what?
I
You're
probably
not really
should.
a best friend anymore. I'm just going to lay it out there.
Don't
You start. I can't believe that you don't watch my content.
I do.
Of all the
Bobby.
people, I would expect you to be my number one supporter. I'm disappointed. I really am, man. I always watch your stupid vlogs all the time. No. I always watch your dumb vlogs and all your gameplay with Mike Drummy and P and Alex while I'm over there just getting mocked and made fun of.
I've got nothing to say.
I know
Rob.
you don't, because you're a disappointment in life.
Oh my god.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Riley's ready as well. He's right next to me. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
I'm
you,
getting ready
aren't
to
I?
go,
Like,
and you gotta. I don't want to
my
see
Riley
that
is
stupid
ready.
dog. My Riley is ready. What a jackass. Okay. Episode 8, right?
8.
Okay. I had to get it straight in my head, man. I'd screw up.
I'm
What?
wonky, aren't
Oh,
I?
you mother.
Look how wonky I am. Why didn't you tell me I was that wonky?
Well, you're wonky every time I see you, son of a. I'm getting ready to go.
I've got a dog under my wheel right now.
Run him over.
It's Yoshi.
No, leave Yoshi alone.
Ah,
If it was Riley, run him over.
I think I'm okay now.
Okay. What is up? Man, why did I do that long breath? Okay. I know, it looks like I gotta get it all in to blow it all out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 8 of If... Oh, my God.
If we ran Nintendo.
Oh, wrong show. Stupid
I watch a
ass.
bit of that sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, whatever.
You should have watched it this week when we did the Toby thing. Or that was last week. You should have watched it with that one. You would have loved that.
I'll go back and watch
You
it.
gotta watch that one. Because that one, Sean is just befuddled. He thinks I'm talking about you. And
Yeah.
your low sperm count and all this stuff.
He's all concerned.
Oh, he is. He's like all devastated and stuff. And I'm like, oh, you gotta go watch that one. You'll love that one. Just at least watch for that point. That's the best.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Because he really thinks I'm talking about you. And then when I name the wife's name, and he's like,
Yeah.
you see him like all of a sudden he starts cheering. And he's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
who? That's not... He's like, that's not Toby's wife's name. It's Karina's name. Okay. What is up, everybody, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 8 of the Nintendo PlayStation Podcast.